Hi, welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses. And today we're carrying on with these wonderful stories from this lovely book, Tom Dorrance, More Than a Horseman. And today's story comes from Martin Black. Around 1975, I was spending a lot of time around Bill Van Norman, and that summer, Ray Hunt was packing claim posts for a mining company in the mountains with his horses. In Ray's off time, him and Bill would be working with their horses, and so I would try to get in on it every chance I got. I was impressed and amazed at the things that they spoke of, the things they were doing and helping me with. But they continued to make reference to Tom Dorrance. When they spoke of him personally, it was in a way that made him seem superhuman. They said he knew what a horse, cow, and person was going to do before they even thought about doing it, and that was intimidating to me. I wasn't comfortable with the idea of someone knowing my thoughts. Later that summer, Tom came to Nevada, and we all worked with him and our horses. What we did was pretty foreign to me, but it was a start to what would make more sense later on. But what I learned from Tom that was as much or more important than what he taught me about the horse is what an amazing person he was. He liked to have a horse quiet and comfortable, but he also made the effort to have everyone else comfortable. The cattle, people, dogs, cats, anything around him. Something else that impressed me about Tom is how we could make something useful out of things that didn't have much use. He would take scrap materials and make gadgets to do things that others may not have thought of, and Tom would do it without spending any or very little money. With that, probably one of the valuable things I picked up from Tom was to think outside the box. Some of the most amazing things that Tom did, in my eyes, were on another track from what other people were doing, whether it was with horses, gadgets, handling people, or anything else. With horses, the thing I realised after being with Tom is that horses do what they are prepared to do, and if they're not prepared, it's usually a panic situation that rarely is useful to us. Myself, like a lot of people, was on the line of thinking that we take an action and the horse reacts, and in some cases we trick or trap the horse into doing what we want. If you don't get immediate results, try something different. With Tom, I learned to prepare and wait. The horse has an amazing memory. If we prepare a horse for something today and don't push too much for results, then tomorrow or later on, we might just start to prepare the horse and they will come through far better after some time away and coming back to it than if we'd pushed for results all at once. One time I had a horse that wasn't very good to shoe. I found out later that's why they sold the horse to me. He would lean on me real bad and then pull away and sometimes kick at me. I shod him a couple of times without getting any improvement. I was picking a hind foot up and he pulled away and kicked my hand and jammed my thumb. So with a sore hand, I laid him down and finished getting the job done. That night, I called Tom and explained things to him. He said the horse wasn't confident enough to stand on 3 legs. Over time, he had me get some real soft about giving his legs with a rope. When I would be out riding, he told me to put a rope on each of the 4 legs and pick them up and get him good enough that he would travel on 3 legs and I could hold whichever leg with the rope and the horse would not try to set it down. When he got good about that, then I worked with him on the ground. And he had reference to some success of handling himself on 3 legs. The way he was before, he had fought with previous owners. When he dealt with me, he was expecting a fight from the start, and that's what he was prepared for. After taking him away from that environment and getting his confidence in a related situation and then coming back, the good experience balanced the bad experience, and the horse was as good as he could be to shoe next time I shod him. Another situation Tom helped me with that has made a difference, especially with colts, is to help them learn to brace when we get on. Sometimes people think to build a brace in a horse is a negative thing, but I had a horse that wasn't comfortable about a lot of different areas from the time I walked up to catch her to riding her. Tom helped me in several areas with her, but one was to get her better prepared to get on. She would start to move and I reached for the stirrup with my foot, and I would get on as she took a few steps, and then I would get to stop her, but of course she was bothered through the whole process. So Tom had me pull on the saddle horn each time when the left front foot left the ground until she stopped. When she quit trying to move from the side pressure of the saddle, then he had me build a brace to where the more I would pull on her by the horn or the stirrup, the more she would brace against me and pull. In not very much time, she got quick about bracing, so I could just get my stirrup, grab the saddle, and as I started pulling myself up, she was like saying, "Let me help you," and was pulling against my weight, leaving the ground, and never had to move a foot to catch her balance. And then she was prepared to stand and wait until I asked her to go. It's like we told her to park. Then I would take her out of park and put her in gear to move when I was ready. Before my activity, preparing to get on was a cue for her to get active. Then I would correct her later, and that was confusing and really bothered her. But by getting her prepared earlier for the right thing, made things more comfortable for her, so she got more confident and we weren't in each other's way. The most valuable lesson I learned from Tom was to get away from the how to or how do I way of thinking and look to the horse for direction, instead of relying on Tom so much for the answer. When I think and feel, I get a direction from the horse that might work for us, then check again with the horse for confirmation. Tom helped me a lot through the years, and as he got older, I got the sense he knew he wouldn't be around forever. And he made a point to wean me from asking him for so much and looked to the horse more. I didn't feel comfortable at the time. As a matter of fact, I was pretty upset with him for not giving me the answer to a particular problem. I later realised it was his way of getting me to ask the horse for the answers. That's what he was showing me for years, and I was too thick-headed and lazy-minded to do it. And I thank God and Tom that I finally got that lesson, because it better prepared me for my future. Like the horse, I feel Tom getting me prepared was the most important thing he could do for me. Thank you, Tom, for an important life lesson. Look to the horse for the answers. Such words of wisdom. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you're enjoying these stories as much as I'm enjoying reading them. Keep tuning into the light, and I look forward to see you next time.